My name is Shubojit. I'm from Down to Earth. For those who don't know, Down to Earth is concerned about anything related to farms, forests, and factories. So lately we have been focusing on two things. One is soil degradation and one is soil contamination. Now, if you go last month, my colleague broke a story on the government claiming that they have a record production of wheat and pulses in this 2016-17. 45 days back, just 2 weeks back, our reporter Jitendra, he reported that because of this drought for 2 consecutive years, there's a chance that the production will be lowest in the last 10 years. So there is this some kind of denial from the government's ends as well. So secondly, last week he reported another story where he said that government has imported 5 million tons of wheat. So on the one hand, you are claiming record production of wheat, and on the other hand, you are importing 5 millions of wheat. So the problem can be solved. The first step to solving a problem is to acknowledge that there is a problem. So in the last 2-3 months, I can see there is some kind of denial on the part of the authority to accept or admit that there is some problem with the production of the agriculture. It could be attributed to nature, it could be other aspects as well. Secondly, talking about soil contamination, I was talking to Dr. Paramita Chakraborty yesterday of SRM University, and she had done a study on PCB concentration on soil. For those who don't know, PCB is a kind of an organic chemical used to prepare electrical equipments and all. Government plans to ban it by 2025. So I called her up and asked her, why is it such a big issue? Why is PCB concentration or contamination of soil is a big issue? And why haven't we heard it before? Is a very recent phenomenon? She said, no. It has been studied, it has been under scanners since 1994. She named some of the scientists who have been working on PCB concentration since 1994. And now it has reached an alarming level where it has come to pass that Chennai has the worst soil quality because of this contamination of these chemicals. It's same, I can't recall the village in Bengaluru. It is also experiencing that same contamination of PCB. Now, what are the effects? As I can't speak for mainstream media, I represent a marginalized media. So, in journalistic parlance, we generally talk about 4 Ws and 1 H. So, when a journalist sniffs, there's a story in something, that he asks what, where, when, and how. We generally focus on mostly 1 W and 1 H. Why it is happening, and how is it affecting us? So since there is no room for coercion, we have to show the concern. Now I asked her, how is it going to happen? So how is it going to affect the health? How is it going to affect us? She said this long exposure to PCB contamination can lead to cancer, and it has been even found in certain northeastern states, and also it is found in breast milk. So that was the extent, which I think hardly, apart from 1 or 2 media, I can't recall it, probably HT, other than that, no other media houses covered that story of that soil contamination. Now, since most people deny science, most people don't understand science, we make it a point to connect soil health to human health, to create that sense of concern among people. Because if you can't tell them, because most people don't know what if we talk about air pollution, they don't know what PM 2.5 is. But if you tell them that it causes respiratory problem, it causes cancer, it's carcinogenic, all those things, they will get a drift, they'll get the drift. So that is what we have been trying to do on Down to Earth, reporting not just on the surface level causes or the surface level consequences, but also how it affects us. So when we are also discussing soil health, we should also discuss how it is affecting human health, which is not very much widely reported on media. And third point I want to make is to disseminate more of positive stories. I remember 3 months back I did a story on, I think you all must be knowing about this Kerala farmer who has been preserving 30 rare diverse crops, 30 breeds of crops. And he has been doing this for ages. And it's only recently that has come to the news. So these positive stories should be, if you're constantly hammering people with these positive stories, so that might create an intention to do something on our own, to contribute of our own. Thank you.